Hi, I'm Laura Mize, pediatric speech-language pathologist, and welcome to TeachMeToTalk.com's Therapy Tip of the Week. Even though Halloween is over, you're probably like me and still have some pumpkins lying around your house. I have a really cute social game that I want to teach you to use with late talking toddlers. Now, both of these little routines are more fun with groups of children or even a mom, a therapist, and a child. But you can even do them one-on-one, particularly with children who are having lots of difficulty connecting with you and interacting with you and exhibiting social skills like making eye contact or joint attention when you're pointing to the pumpkin. So super little game for that. Now, I have used these games for years, and it's always a super way to help toddlers learn how to participate in a really common childhood routine like circle time. Usually, a lot of our little late talking friends, many of them can get off track when we require them to do any kind of structured activity, or we lose them altogether. They just become too bored to participate with us, and so then they want to get up and run away or wander away. So this little activity is great for those kids, for really pulling them in. I also like to use this kind of activity at preschool or at daycare when I'm treating a little friend. You can either pull one or two over, or if the teacher's willing, you can teach the entire class these little songs and routines. Now, the first game is called Pass the Pumpkin. So obviously you need a pumpkin. Now, this is more fun when toddlers are sitting in a circle on the floor, and you're going to want to sit close enough so that you can actually pick up the pumpkin and pass it on to the next child. Now, as you saw then, the pumpkin that I have right here, way too heavy for a toddler. So you may want to get something a little smaller so that impracticality does not interfere with your great therapy routine. So have them all sort of sit as close together as they can without being too invasive in each other's space. And then you're going to have them pass the pumpkin from child to child as you sing this little song. Now, it's to the tune of Are You Sleeping? So I'll just sing it for you here. And again, it doesn't matter how well you sing. Toddlers love it. So even if you don't have the best voice, just keep going. So the words are, pass the pumpkin, all around, fall is coming to our town. All right, so that's kind of the premise. So again, your goals here are to teach a child to, number one, stay with you and pay attention, and number two, to participate by taking the pumpkin when it's his turn and then passing it along to the next child. If you're working with a child who has difficulty doing that, help him, sit behind him. Even if it's just the therapist, the mom, and the child there, one of you adults should be behind the child and help him physically hand the pumpkin to the next person. This is the beginning of learning about sharing, of show, hold, and give. Really important principles in helping a toddler learn turn-taking skills. And again, you can work on those other goals that I mentioned previously for social skills like eye contact and joint attention. Such a super game for toddlers, and I know you're going to have good luck with it. Now, when you feel like a child's attention is waning with that game, and again, some kids can stick with it for a long time. Some kids, you sing it 2 or 3 times and they're just finished, and that's okay. Move on to this next activity. So for this one, you'll be rolling the pumpkin to someone else, seated across from the child in the circle. So to begin this activity, you'll hold the pumpkin and you'll excitedly say something like, hey, let's play a new game. Let's roll the pumpkin to our friends or to mommy or to whatever sibling is there. So you'll say, I roll my pumpkin to Mommy, and you get really excited about saying that person's name. If you're working on pointing with the child, you may have the child point to the person, which is a super way to squeeze that practice in, and you'll just roll the pumpkin to another person, and then that person should make a big deal about saying, yay, I got the pumpkin, or thank you, or something like that, and then they should say, I will roll the pumpkin to, and then name another child or the child that you're working with, and make a big deal about working in those names. That really improves a child's social interaction skills as well. Now, a lot of times children, because this is sort of new, their natural tendency is to hoard the pumpkin. They want to take it as their own. And a child may have to, if you have a child who does that, he may have to see you play this game several times and know we're not going to sit and hold the pumpkin. We're going to roll it and really involve other people and include other people in this activity. If it's necessary, again, provide that physical assistance so that the child lets go and accomplishes what you want him to do. You can always work on other little things as well. If it starts going horribly wrong and he doesn't want to let go of the pumpkin, do things to elicit imitation. So pat the pumpkin, kiss the pumpkin, any little thing that you can think of that would be fun or a fun little action for him to imitate. Try to get that going here with this game. You might also add a verbal routine like ready, set, go when you're about to roll the pumpkin across the room. So really put together all the little components that you've been using to work with a late talker and see how many different things and variations you can get going with this kind of little game. All right, if you need more activities like this, I have a great resource to share with you. It's called Let's Talk About Talking. Ways to Strengthen the 11 Skills All Toddlers Master Before Words Emerge. Had trouble with that new title there. But it's filled with activities like this one that walks you step by step by step all those important pre-linguistic skills that children acquire before they begin to talk, and then matches those with several really cute, fun, developmentally appropriate therapy activities so that you can maximize your effectiveness as you work with late talking toddlers. All right, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this tip, and I hope that this game is as much fun for you as it's been for me. I'm Laura Mize, pediatric speech language pathologist, and thanks so much for watching TeachMeToTalk.com's Therapy Tip of the Week.